Blackopolypse. Yes, Nigel. Welcome to the Real Life Room Talk with the Horsemen of Blackopolypse. There are a special guest, Erica Hadley-Jarrett. Homework is done. She's the owner. Well, she's the owner of the website pregnancybumpbox.com, which is basically a tailored trimester wellness box for pregnancies.
Oh, Mr. Research.
Well, actually, I've actually, yeah, not just that, but actually wrote some stuff down so I didn't look like a pleb this week. You know what I mean?
Simon, man, boy, you look like you got the earth behind you, man.
Yeah, I got the weight of the world on my shoulders, bro.
You're on the space station or what?
I got the weight of the world on my shoulders and I needed to take a breather, man.
That's one pretty background.
Wait there. How did he? Wait.
Can I ask you one thing though, Alstallio, before we carry on? Or this mic, is the sound coming through this mic, or do you reckon it's coming through the audio?
It's coming through the mic of the.
Sure, because it keeps on saying come through. Look, I'm disappearing, bro. Come through with the audio. It keeps on saying computer audio. Look, I can disappear. Hang on.
Have you got a green screen?
He's got a green screen.
No, I ain't got it yet. You can just mirror the thing, so it just works like this.
We want one of them posts.
No, you just download the thing, bro. You just download it. I'll tell you where to get it from in a sec. You just download it.
What?
I've tried it before, man, but I couldn't do it on my computer. It was saying I didn't have the.
My computer's too old for that, man. I gotta upgrade.
That's what I'm saying. Why won't let me do it? I want one pretty background.
Love it.
Anyway, before we get lost in the whole idea about changing the background, I wanted to start today. Obviously, you know, some stuff I came across over the last couple of days in the internet. I discovered something because the topic's basically based around health, and Erica, our friend Erica's a health expert.
Okay.
You know, I learned this week. I learned that if you walk with a bowl on your head, it's very good for your posture.
Did you try it?
Good point.
Yo, that's,
in Africa or India, where they actually carry stuff on their head, you see those people, it's that perfect posture from balancing all the time. They've got perfect posture because if they didn't, the stuff would fall off their head.
Exactly.
I'm slouching now.
So what are you advocating then, Wayne?
Let's all walk
look at someone understands me. Someone understands
the times, Rob. Move with the times.
I had to cuss somebody once because they were saying to me, "Oh, Nigel, I could imagine your mom with a bowl of fruit on her head."
I mean, it's the thing is, it might sound offensive, but it isn't really. That's like culture.
It's culture. Well, not my mom's culture. She wasn't carrying no bowl of fruit when she was in Jamaica. I don't think she was.
She probably was.
Yeah,
she probably was. And because think about it, yeah, you know, first of all, you could carry more stuff on your head. You didn't like slouch. It's good for your posture. It's good for your neck muscles.
Let me get comfortable, man. Let me get comfortable. You know what I mean?
So in a way, I think that. Well, yeah. Okay.
Did you try it?
Yeah, look, he's trying it right now. Look at this guy.
Hey, my head's flat, you know.
Dude, I think it has to have something with weight. I mean, that's the secret.
Head, man.
Anyway, now that everyone knows that, you can go home now. If your posture is, if you're a bit hunched like this, then put a bowl of fruit on your head, and then a bowl or anything weighted, a bag.
Didn't they used to train young ladies with like books on top of their head?
Yeah. Models, I hear that models use this form of training too.
Yeah.
When they're modeling, it brings up the chest. So I might walk around. If you ever see me with a bowl of fruit walking around, I won't be doing. I won't be doing this movement at least.
Oh God.
The next thing I want to talk about is I wanted to tell you guys about. I came across a post, and I'll post it in our group about the KKK in Richmond, Virginia, posing as police officers and rounding up like obviously black people.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, you know, when you think
recently.
Yeah, they were just caught today or yesterday, a couple of days ago.
Yeah, only the people in the neighbourhood who actually caught them, though.
Yeah.
So what, have they been arrested for impersonating?
Yeah, they've been arrested. They caught them, man. But you think about it,
Them guys are desperate, ain't they?
They're dangerous, man. That's proper scary, man. Think about it. You get pulled over by a police officer, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, these guys are really police. You never really ask to see a police officer's badge, do you? You never like, give me your badge. They're just like full on. You're aggressive. Yo, slide out, lad. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get shot here. And then they put you in a van, and then you just disappear, and you vanish.
Mate, that's cold, mate.
That is sneaky, man.
You vanish.
Yeah, they do.
Well, that makes you wonder what's gone on and
Absolutely.
how many people have gone missing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Particularly in certain areas of America, like say Virginia and those kind of, kind of
South.
white supremacist places. Yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Did you hear about in Mississippi? They actually agreed now to take away the last Confederate flag in Mississippi now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's come down.
I'm surprised that they
But-
kind of.
Sorry to cut you there. They banned it from NASCAR in the States, which is like really, it's a national sport of the South down there.
They were really for it though, wasn't they? It was really
but they defied it. People turned up and basically pulled out their Confederate flags and had them everywhere anyway. And
Of course they
this
did.
guy, what's his name? Bubba something. He's a NASCAR, one black or mixed race NASCAR driver. There was a noose in his garage hung up.
Yeah.
Really?
I saw that as well. It was. They're saying it was an old piece of rope that was on there from time, but
Then they checked 64 garages and there wasn't an old piece of rope in anybody
Yeah,
else. And they called it a noose. And if you looked at it, it was a noose.
damn. With a name like Bubba, though, I mean, come on, man.
Bubba Sparks.
That's a good name in the South. That's a good name in the South.
Hey, yo, Bubba.
Bubba Sparks.
We need Link back to do that, the Southern accent, man.
Yeah.
We need to come back on that special.
We'll have a Link special. You're supposed to have sampled him anyway and use those sound effects.
Nah, the thing is, forget Ling. Like, I don't want to talk about him. All right. Did you discover anything recently, Nigel? I don't know. Came across?
I've discovered that if I wake up at 4 o'clock, I can't go back to sleep. I know that much. No, to be fair, no, I've kind of kept my head
Down.
deep in work. I've not really followed much news. I know that Leicester has been locked off.
Leicester for what?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
been
they've had
under
a-
lockdown measures
yeah.
fully now.
There's been a rise
Again?
in cases, yeah. But they're saying that Leicester, on the news, just as certain parts of the UK where the numbers are going up again. So what they're saying is, we're going to lock down. But apparently some child at school, they've locked the school off in Selly Oak because there was a year one or whatever who'd been tested positive. Then there was somebody else who was suspected. So I think they've locked down his whole school in Selly Oak as well. So it's crazy times, man, because I personally think guinea pigs, let's just get them out there and see what happens. They'll be all right. They'll be all right. As long as they're not BAME. As long as they're not over 70. As long as they ain't got no diabetes or asthma or heart disease or hay fever or it's Russian roulette, mate. That's what it is. Take your chances, man. It's as simple as that. Take your chances.
They need to weed out the weak, innit?
What do you think about that, Erica? What do you think about all this craziness?
I think that we're living in quite a messed up world either way. I suppose what concerns me out of all of this is the legislation and laws that have been passed as a result of COVID.
Yeah.
And kind of what that means for our future, for the future, for the children. And what really have they got planned then, if they can actually change our civil liberties. So some of the things that I read was that you can be held now against your will. You could be tested if you're suspected of COVID. This includes children under the age of 18. Some of the laws that have been passed, including the Mental Health Act, are changed. Just very, very, very worrying for the times that we live in, really.
Yeah.
I think the thing to worry about as well, it depends on which side of the fence you're on as well. In terms of COVID or whatever you just say, the way it's going at the moment, they're talking, obviously they've got these therapeutics that they're looking at, that they're looking to bring out in America. Obviously it's costing people money already. It's not free for people, and that's their insurance system. I don't want to go into that. But over here, I guess we're going to start using these therapeutics and stuff as well. But a vaccine is still some way away. Now, some people have quite blatantly, because I listen to a lot of stuff from the States. I know in the States, they're saying 70% of people have said that they'll take the vaccine when it comes. And 30% have point blank said, like, I won't take this vaccine. And then basically to achieve herd immunity, they reckon if only 40 to 70% of the population take it, if it's at 70, they're likely to get herd immunity, and it'll be a safer thing for everyone. At the 40-50% margins, it's not likely to give people herd immunity, which just means there'll be a cycle of the disease going round and round. So it's something, I don't know how that will apply over here, but I know a lot of people who said they won't take the vaccine.
COVID's going nowhere. All COVID is, it's flu on steroids.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, every year we get flu. Every year they give us a jab. Well, they give them a jab. Every year they give you a jab and they still get flu. Every year we get flu and people still die. So for me to say, yeah, man, we've just brought out this vaccine. Oh, it's a 1 month old. Oh, so it's been tested. Oh, no,
I am taking that.
We're gonna let, you know, you vulnerable people, you can have it first, and then what we'll do, we'll assess and we'll do our research and our white papers, and after a couple of you die, then we might stop issuing it, do a little bit more research, then we'll test again. No. I ain't no one's guinea pig. I'm having nothing. No. They are going to try and force it on us. They are going to say, oh, you can't here, go this or do that. And I'm fine. If I can't go back to the country because I ain't got no vaccine, I'm going to make sure I take one more holiday before it becomes compulsory.
And I think that's what it will be, is like I said, trying to enforce these laws have changed to try and help them enforce the vaccine when it does come, which is a really hard one for me because I don't have, like, I live for travel.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know what.
We're going to find out more about that.
I'm not taking no vaccine though, so you know. What does that mean for the future, even potentially?
I don't think like the actual thought of, yo, I'm making a stand here. I'm taking a stand here, but I'm really not going to go to Thailand, or I'm not going to go to Brazil, or I'm not going to go to these exotic places again, or you know, I don't know if the UK alone is going to keep me going. I feel like it's a waiting game almost. Like, I'm gonna take that vaccine. In fact, that's probably it actually, because what you're going to do is say, listen, this version 1.0, I ain't dealing with that. I'm waiting until we're on version 3.0 or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I've got 18 months in me.
Yeah, I think to be fair though, I mean, in terms of like when they bring out new medication, I'm sure the scientists say it's got to be at least 3 to 5 years of testing before they release it on the public. So for me to rush this through, when I don't even know how it started anyway, and they're saying, yeah, he yammed the bat. All right, whatever you say. Well, I can even bring something out and say, yeah, it's going to be all right. You know, because this feels to me like it was something that went wrong. So who's to say the vaccine won't be the same thing? Yeah. And then to choose a community and say, yeah, we'll test it out on you guys first.
Of course.
I just want them to go, you know, we're going to test this out in Sweden. Or something. I know. Iceland. Ireland. In Canada. It's never Canada. It's like we're going to test this out in Botswana, or we're going to test it out in Mongolia. It's always somewhere.
Where there's no cases of COVID, but they use the excuse that.
Sorry to cut you. Unless it's a place that is so cut off, and I mean cut off. We have to look at the Black Death and the plague. That went round the world quick time, you know what I mean? That's without us jumping on planes and everything. That thing was around for a long time and everything as well. So you got to think about these places can get into any nook and cranny. Like, you know, I know it seems unlikely. If you look at like the Mongolian steppe and you think, listen, you won't even see a person for 5 days. There you're probably safe. Anywhere else is going to have some kind of population that's going to intermingle with even nomadic or rural areas. Even if you go to Brazil, they've still got families in the city. People still come back into them places, and that they're cut off from other tribes and people who don't know it's there and that, but they've still got family that have left. Every one of them places have got indigenous people who have gone into the city, who have left the tribe and come back or whatever, and that they might not live there, but they come back. So it's going to reach every area eventually. That's what I think we've got to realize. It is going to get to every
it's here to stay, man. Talking of COVID, did any of you hear about the Burundi president who died suddenly at 55?
No.
Well, apparently,
to me anyway.
He'd done some tests because I don't know the full story, but from the gist of it,
did you do Trump test?
They were doing something to do testing COVID, and he said that he tested goats, motor oil and papaya fruit for COVID-19, and they came out positive using the kits that the World Health Organization.
Really? Oh, that's why. Yeah. No wonder he's going to be killed.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah.
55, just died suddenly, boof, like that.
Yeah, of course. Sent the assassins, man.
Because he reckoned that he had his own cure. And they were saying, I don't know if you saw what I shared from RT News, but they were saying, okay, Black Lives Matter, apart from when they're talking about having a cure for COVID.
Exactly.
About these different African countries
about this the other day, didn't we?
They've had minimal cases of COVID, so they're obviously dealing with it. But because they're African, it's like, oh, well, no, we haven't got to look at their stats and their figures and what they're doing. Also, like, they don't know anything. It's like,
it's actually probably the opposite. It's probably a lack of like regard for the African people.
That's what it is.
We're not reporting this shit because we're not interested. We're not interested. Like, we don't even care if they've got kits and that. You know, we'll send some the kits we was using 3 months ago and that, man. Just give it a good wipe up.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Personally, like, I don't want to be wrapped up in this in any formal way, from testing to tracking and tracing to any form or part of it. So if it means I have to stay in my house for a foreseeable future, then so be it. I do not want to be caught up in whatever this mess really is.
Yeah. Same, man.
Absolutely, man.
They mash up the world.
Yeah, man. Anyway, let's get around to talking to our guest today, Erica, Miss Jarrett.
What about you?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, yeah. Where do I begin?
So where was you born? You was born in the UK. But you sound northern. You have kind of a northern accent.
Really? She's got a
Midlands, Birmingham, born and bred, but went to Manchester University.
That's what I'm picking up.
Several years.
Picking up the mank in there. That's what I was going to say. I didn't want to be insulted. So you sound a bit like a mank twang in there, but
it's not bad compared to a Brummie, though, eh? A bit of a twang.
But yeah, but well, the Brummie accent. Less said about that. Less said about the Brummie accent, the better.
There's nothing wrong with Brummie, mate. We're known all over the world. We are all over.
Well, starting to sound like a yam there. Be careful.
I don't know the difference, you know. They all sound the same to me, to be fair.
Nah, man, no way, man. It's worse.
Extremes.
But yeah, ever since uni, so I went to Manchester Met and graduated in 2008 in sociology and cultural studies. And that kind of just opened up a different world for me, really. Not in terms of the piece of paper that it gave me, because I graduated during, you know, the biggest recession we'd seen up until what's about to come.
Yeah.
So, you know, times were quite rough in terms of getting the career job and all the things that I was promised. But in terms of opportunity and questioning the kind of general grain of life and you know, the kind of general norms really kind of opened up my eyes to different ways and maybe not necessarily following a traditional way of life. So as a result of that, I really don't think I have in any formal way.
Okay.
So I've done, like I said, travel's really important to me. So I've been off on my travels. I heard you mention, Simon, some very nice places like Brazil and Jamaica and Thailand. So I've done those.
Good on you.
As we're speaking, I'm meant to be in Bali, sunning myself.
That is one of our destinations that's on the list.
Bali's kiss, man. I bet they have
Indonesia.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to go there and Tahiti.
Tahiti.
Yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, just literally live for travel, culture, new experiences, you know, that feeling, that the different colours, the smells.
Have you solo travelled at all? Sorry to cut in you there. Have you done any solo travelling? Have you gone?
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
That really changed my life. So 30th birthday, I probably bit off the big one. I went to Rio de Janeiro by myself.
Boom!
We were there, 2016.
Did I go? No, did I go? Was he with you?
You went after you went 2017 as well.
Did I go separate with you or did we go? No, because when you left and I was alone.
You went to Salvador. I stayed in Rio.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
How long did you go for, Erica?
Well, it was a bit of a long story. So I was meant to have gone with my partner at the time and I was gone, you know, for a bit of a holiday and then a bit of explore and travel around. But my dad ended up having a heart attack. He was fine, absolutely fine. But I ended up cancelling that trip and thinking I wasn't going. And then kind of the week before he'd started to recover and said, you know, he knew how much this meant to me. Just go, book it and go. Well, you can imagine booking the week before. Prices are completely different. Plans kind of all went out the window. So I just booked 2 weeks in like a kind of normalish hotel, not too far from Havana. Well, not too fancy, not too, you know, not too
4-star at least. Has to be 4-star. Nothing less than 4-star.
We was in a hostel, bro.
In the hostel. In the favelas.
that was my first experience, and I've got a lot braver since. So, you know, definitely hostels.
Wait a second. You said you got braver since. You went to Rio de Janeiro. Was that your first trip? Was it alone?
Yeah,
that was your first trip alone to Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
And then you got more braver. So when you end up in Baghdad.
So I remember sitting on Copacabana Beach and literally saying to myself, if I can do this, this is the moment really life begins for me, because I can do anything. You know, and literally, so yeah, after retrieving Rio, it was like, well, hostel, so be it, you know.
Yeah, sure.
You know, random boat trip, island stay, well, you know, kind of YOLO.
What? Erica, yeah, man, you got corners, man. I like that. You know,
well done,
the
man.
thing is, I think, that's amazing. And I mean, obviously, Wayne, you've been away, Simon, you've done like 6 months away, and all this. I love to hear all that, because I think one of the things that I don't think I got enough of in my 20s, 30s was travel.
Yeah,
I mean, and I think it's a real
key,
key.
To be fair, I did some.
It's a key component of
the growth in it.
Realizing what the world's about.
Yeah.
And go, and like you say, different cultures, different colours, different ways of doing things. You know, I remember the first time I went to Jamaica, and I went with my son, and I was in my 20s. I think I was about 26. And I've come into Kingston Airport, and we've walked out of Kingston Airport, and it was like, oh my God.
It hit you.
All these black people, where they come from?
Yo, these good-looking black, yo.
One taxi man's pussy, one next taxi man, one old man's lying upon the bench drinking a red stripe. He looks like he's about to fight. Me and my son are like,
you made it, man.
Amazing.
Made it, man.
Amazing. But it really kind of gave me, when I got back to England now, I had a bit of edge. I was a bit like, I'm annoying me about now. Don't mess with me.
I survived in Jamaica.
Before we move on, because we've got to find out more about you, definitely. But like when me and Alstallio went to Brazil, like I arrived a day before him. It was just the way we booked it, and that. So he was taking some long-winded route around Turkey and somewhere. I flew to Luxembourg, stayed 7 hours in Luxembourg, then flew to Paris, and then flew from Paris to Brazil. So I did it some mad-ass way as well. So anyway, I turned up in Sao Paulo. We landed in, and we're staying there for a little bit. And then I come from the airport, and there's like 4 lanes of traffic, but there's 6 lanes across of people actually in